last a French book I can talk about. Pyramide by Romain Benassaya. Yes, this is science fiction. No, that cover gives you no idea what this is largely about. Nor the title, for that matter. So humans are fleeing the Earth. They've destroyed all in stasis until someone gets woken up. They should have been woken up in about 200 years, when they would have arrived at their destination, a planet destined for terraforming, but they are not there. I'm not going to say where they are, because for most of this book, you don't know. But it's a bit of a weird concept and just keeps getting weirder. The story itself is more about people doing the things people do, which are not all good, and the gardeners. No, I'm not telling you what the gardeners are, but you'll find that out pretty quickly. The book is told from two main points of view to start with, one male, one female, but goes on to tell the story from quite a lot of points of view. Because of this, for a lot of the book, I didn't feel fully invested in any of the characters, because I didn't spend enough time in their thoughts. It was the premise that kept me reading, because I wanted to know where they were, and exactly how the title and that cover fitted in. However, in the last section, a lot more time was spent with a smaller number of characters, and when it came, the ending did hit home. I reckon there will be many interpretations of the ending, but I'm happy with the one I've settled on and have no interest in finding out what the author was thinking at the time. Has that intrigued you? Being science fiction, this book is of course quite long, over 600 pages on my Kindle. However, I found it incredibly easy to read in terms of understanding. I rarely needed to look up a word to get the gist of what was going on, or, indeed, the fine detail. So let's take a look at the first paragraph of the book proper to see if you think you could read this too. Après 2 heures sous perfusion, Eric put enfin se lever. Il avait mal partout et de terribles picotements lui parcouraient les bras et les jambes. Rien de surprenant après 200 ans d'inconscience. Le sang n'avait recommencé à couler dans les veines que quelques heures plus tôt, remplaçant l'elixir 102, le composé qui l'avait maintenu en animation suspendue. After 2 hours on a drip, Eric could finally get up. He hurt all over, and severe pins and needles ran across his arms and legs. Not surprising after 200 years of unconsciousness. The blood had only begun to run through his veins a few hours earlier, replacing the elixir 121, the substance which had kept him in suspended animation. And just as a side note, it took me ages to realise that the elixir was a play on elixir. Duh. Okay, now a few words in questionable French. Pyramide de Romain Benassaya est un roman de science-fiction. Les humains ont détruit notre planète et vont au Sinicis, une autre planète pour commencer une nouvelle vie. Lorsqu'ils se réveillent de la biostase, ils ne sont pas à leur destination prévue, mais dans un environnement très étrange. Et c'est impossible de savoir combien de temps s'est écoulé, parce que presque tous les systèmes du vaisseau ne marchent pas, autres que les systèmes de maintien de la vie. Ce roman est assez facile à lire après avoir compris le vocabulaire spécialisé et l'histoire est intrigante.